I love US Open. I feel excited to play. I feel excited to play. I feel excited for next week. I feel excited to come out on courts and see how the crowd is going to be this year. So not much more to add. Feeling pretty well physically, mentally. Want to try to play better than I did last couple of weeks. And let's see how it's going to go.
Okay, very good. Questions? Andrew?
Yep. Andrew Jones, ESPN Landscape. Daniil, I want to ask you first, what's been the most enjoyable thing you've done outside of tennis, besides with the family here, in your return here to New York? And your thoughts on Harry Kane coming to Bayern, your favorite team, and your hopes and thoughts about them this season now with him there?
Yeah, let's start with Bayern first. I mean, Harry Kane is a big player, and he already, apparently, you can... It's like the thing with tennis, same with football. So the only thing I can know about football is what I read in the media. So in the media, it seems like he's a great leader and great guy. He's already completely in the team. So let's see how it goes on the pitch. Hopefully, he can score many goals. Talking about my time in New York, I always enjoy New York. I feel like it's a great city, electric city. I don't know if how it is to live here, because I feel like this energy can. This city can take your energy if you stay here for too long, but to be here 3 weeks, 1 month is super fun. What would be the most enjoyable thing? I love there is a restaurant, let's call it free advertising, called Marivana, and it's pretty amazing. That's where I celebrated my win 2 years ago, and it's always great to come back there.
Okay. Chris?
Daniil, Chris Otto with US Open. When Carlitos was in here before, I asked him if he was thinking at all about having to defend his title and if it would make it more challenging, and he said probably, but I'm going to try to avoid that. I just wonder if you could look back at your experience. What was it like for you? Was it tricky?
I mean, I don't remember how it was 1 year ago, but I would generally say I don't think I really felt much pressure. I just wanted to do well. Tough match against Nick. Generally, last year, if I take it as a whole, I was not playing too bad. I was still in Turin, and a final of Australian Open, even if it's in the beginning of the year, it's still last year. But in general, the year was maybe my worst year in 4-5 years. So I don't think it was something to do with defending the US Open title itself. I hope I hope I can defend one of the titles. I never had two for the moment, so that's my chance here. And I'm sure Carlos is such a strong player that I'm sure it's not going to bother him too much about thinking to defend his title.
Okay. Willie
Weinbaum with ESPN. Daniil, what opportunity have you had this summer to watch Alcaraz against Djokovic, and what are your thoughts about their rivalry at the moment?
Well, I usually say I don't watch matches when I lose a tournament. So during Wimbledon, I didn't watch it until I follow the live score because, it's easy on the phone. You just put a live score. And then at one moment, I saw that they had the 30-minute game. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And so I turned it on, and it was amazing to watch. I was, sometimes you have some things to do, so I was not glued to my TV, but I watched most of the final. And it was amazing to watch because Novak was kind of down in the beginning of the fourth set. I was surprised he managed to win it with the way the match was going. And then at the same time, I was surprised how Carlos managed to turn it back. And that's why at the moment, they're number 1 and 2 in the world. You cannot argue with that because they're able, to, even when they play against each other, to turn this match around so many times. Same about Cincinnati. I was still there, so I watched not only their match, but their match. I watched it at an amazing level, and it was not easy to play in Cincinnati. The balls are tough to control. They don't care about this. They still play their best, and all this championship points saved. We go to the tiebreak. Was amazing to see. Great rivalry so far. Now every tournament, a goal for everyone is to try to stop them from playing each other.
Just one follow-up. Novak was just in this room, and he talked about his match in the final against you 2 years ago. He wasn't here last year. What do you take from that final for this year, and what thoughts do you have about him being back?
Oh, him being back is great. I always said it. I want him to play every tournament, especially even at the moment. If he seems super young, there's going to be in one moment, we don't know when, 45 years old, 40 years old, he's going to stop. I think that's the reality. I don't think he's going to go more than 45 years old or something. And so before he stops, it's great to see him play in every tournament. Out of, let's say, probably out of the big three, I played Roger. I was not the same as I am right now, but my game matches Novak's the best, and he's still probably the greatest of all time. So it's great that I can give him hard time. And same, 2 years ago, I managed to play definitely one of, if not the best match of my life. And I want to try to do it again. He's the other part of the draw, so let's see.
Let's go to the back. Yes.
Hi, Daniil. Novak and Carlos are hogging a lot of the attention in men's tennis at the moment. You're getting asked about them. Everyone's getting asked about them. People are already thinking about them meeting in the final. How does that feel for someone like you who, has won this title as well, is a contender for the title this year? Is it irritating? Is it motivating?
No, I think honestly it's great. I think it's great for tennis that we have these two guys playing against each other right now. But as I say, it's a great story. But then the tournament starts, and hopefully we can. When I say we, me personally or someone else, we're going to try to beat them and stop them from playing each other. But again, it doesn't irritate me at all, because I always said that, sometimes we have this overrated, underrated, right? Usually in social media, you go on Instagram and everyone after every match is like, he's overrated, he's underrated. That's their favorite thing to say. In my opinion, tennis is one of sports where you almost can't say this, because like football, it's 11 against 11. So even if the team wins, you can always say something about the players. Tennis is 1 against 1. We have rankings 52 weeks, unless someone was injured. That's the ranking you have, done. And now they're 1-2 by the margin. I think they're maybe 1,500 points ahead of me. I'm number 3 by the margin. There's no one behind me, at least that close, if I remember it right. So I think that's normal that we talk about them. I do think we still talk about me, so I'm not feeling too bad. But I'm gonna try. The goal is to, after this US Open, that we talk about me. So I'm gonna try to do it.
Just quick follow-up. Does the role of disruptor, kind of the party pooper there, do you feel like that maybe suits you?
I don't know, because consciously I don't think about it. I just try to win. That's the most important. But unconsciously, I feel like many times I was playing good in this role. So hopefully it can help me this 2 weeks.
Hi, Daniil. You said that you're hoping to play better here than you have been doing in the last couple of weeks. I was just wondering if you could reflect on maybe some of the parts of your game that you thought weren't quite right, and was one of them the serve? It seemed like you were struggling a little bit.
Definitely the serve, trying to work on it right now. Serve is a tough shot, because it's, such fine margins sometimes, and it's kind of probably the most important shot in tennis. Because in general, serve can save you many times. You can play not the best match, but serve can save you. You go to the tiebreak and then you start playing better. Happened to me many times. So everyone went through this stage, and sometimes it's in 1 week, sometimes it's in 1 month, where you serve just a little bit worse. In general, I know that I can serve very well. Usually US Open, for whatever reason, I was serving kind of even better than I usually do. So hopefully this can help me. If not, in general, the 2 matches I lost were not bad matches. But that's the thing about tennis. Sometimes if you don't play a very good match, you could lose. Because against Sasha, I felt like I played, let's call it almost a good match. Against Dominar, I played in general good, but there were some moments where my game was dropping too much. So all of this is experience, and I want to try to find confidence here and get it going and play better and better during the tournament.
David.
David King, tennis.com. Sometimes there could be issues with fatigue at this point in the season. I'm just curious where you rate your energy relative to how many matches you had to play earlier in the season, and what you may do to conserve that energy now.
I feel great. And then we come again to this unconscious part. Do I feel tired? I don't think so. I feel great. I mean, as we also say, Toronto and Cincinnati, I had a lot of time to continue practicing and preparing just because I had this off time when you lose. So it all comes down to how do you feel during the tournament, because it can be different. You know, you can come to the tournament and you feel awful, and then during the tournament you feel better and better, or the other way around. The best is to feel good before the tournament and during the tournament. So I'm feeling good right now. Hopefully I can feel like this during the tournament also. And how do you cope up with this is you try with your team to do the best schedule possible in terms of days off, practices, what do you do in your off time. And I feel like I'm pretty experienced in this, so hopefully I can be 100% starting from the first match.
Go-to order at Marivana?
Sirniki is very good. I don't know if I said it right in English. Yeah, I would say Sirniki is very good.
Okay. Chris, last question.
Daniil, with regard to Carlitos and your matchups with him in the past, I wonder, is it something that you think about as you go through a season, and do you keep studying him as you go through, thinking about what might work in the future against him, or do you chalk it up to maybe surfaces and bad days and just realize you have a game that can beat him and you don't need to overthink and just worry about the opponent you're facing?
Yeah, I usually try not to overthink, because then you come to the point where, you know, probably there would be some guys, you know, we're all different tennis players, so probably some guys overthink. And I'm sure some of them would look Novak under the microscope, you know, all his matches and stuff like this, and would try to see this, and that. But then you play him, it's not that easy. So same with Carlos. I could watch all his matches and try to see what should I do. But no, sometimes when I see him on TV, I could see maybe Novak or Yannick or Tommy Paul usually gives him hard time. See one thing and think, oh, okay, maybe he's you know, a little bit in trouble on this or that. But then during the match, it's a complete different story. We played 2 times this year. It didn't go at all well for me. I would call it 2 easy matches in a way. But for me, it's only motivation. Next time I play him, I will try to do better, because I don't want to be beaten easy. That's not why I play tennis. That's not who I am. So every time I can meet him, it means semis minimum here also. So it could be already great, and I'm going to try my best to try to be better.
You feel like you learned from those 2 matches despite the result didn't go your way? Were there moments in there where you said, okay, this is feeling good against him, this isn't?
I hope so. I hope I always learn, because you can never know. Because for sure, tactically, you learn something, but he's a very strong player, especially for his age, as Novak also says. He will try even during the match, if he sees, he will see it very fast that maybe you're doing something to, you know, disrupt his game, and he's going to try to change things up. So it's going to be during the match. It's mostly that I hope when I lose that I learn. Otherwise, it's even tougher to lose, because you're like, I lost for nothing. So I hope I learn from this, and every time I go to the tournament, to the next one, I hope I can do better.